everyone. This is Deborah Gardner. Thank you so much again for joining us here on Hospitality Today Live. It has been a very exciting day here with the GMID celebration, and I cannot wait to share with you who we have next. And that happens to be Michelle Mason. She is the president and CEO of the American Society of Association Executives, formerly the president and CEO of Association Forum. Michelle, she is so passionate about the advancement of the professional practice of association management. She currently serves on the Destinations International Foundation and Tourism Diversity Matters. Chicago is where she's actually from, and she is a Chicago Business Journal Woman of Influence honoree. She's also the Chicago Defender Woman of Excellence honoree, and the CEO Update Professional Society CEO of the Year, and most recently named a Smart Women's in Meetings Hall of Famer. So she is a very well-versed businesswoman that will actually be with us here today to talk about the current state of the association community right here next on Hospitality Today Live. So don't go away. We'll be right back. For the hospitality industry, efficienthealthsolutions.com. Well, we are here now, as I mentioned, the beautiful and wonderful and brilliant Michelle Mason. Welcome to GMID today.
Thank you for having me, Deborah. Happy GMID Day.
It's wonderful to have you. As a matter of fact, you are the Smart Woman in Meetings Hall of Famer, which is such a great honor. So congratulations there. And before we get into that, because I do have a question pertaining to that, I understand you have a green thumb. And I know this because my last name is Gardner. So tell us a little bit about that green thumb you're doing now.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I just, over COVID, many of us have tried new things. And so I thought I would take a stab at learning how to grow greenery. And
awesome.
So it's hit or miss. But one of the things I actually did during COVID was I started herb gardening on my balcony. So that really got me inspired. And so it's continuing through.
Oh, well, you know what? You are a light years ahead of me. I've been wanting to do a garden out in my backyard, and I've just yet to build the box. I have no idea. But to do that, I mean, in Arizona, we probably get, fried vegetables, but in Chicago, you get snow. Did you work around that snow and the cold freezing weather? Did that really work for you?
Yeah, well, no, it didn't work for me during the cold freezing weather, but during the spring, summer, it was nice to be out there, just becoming one with soil and all of that. And so, I had to buy herbs from the grocery store when it got colder, but at least I tried.
Right. Well, I'll be interested to stay in touch, and I know our viewers probably will too, to see how you did, especially, in Chicago. But I think that's fantastic, talking about doing something new and different during the pandemic, which a lot of us had to do. And it's really interesting to hear somebody like yourself, such a businesswoman, and getting her hands in the dirt and mixing it up for a little bit of a change. So that's really great. And I want to, again, congratulate you for the Smart Meetings Magazine Hall of Famer that just happened. So that's really, really exciting. And yet I also noticed that under your words of wisdom that you shared, you said you never know future possibilities unless you take the first step. Can you explain to us, what did you mean by that?
Yeah, I am a woman of faith. So, I believe in walking by faith and not by sight. But in order to receive the blessings that you have before you, it really requires the first step. It requires an action. And in action, you never know what's ahead. So I believe in that. And I believe in when you are faithful and you allow yourself to trust in that capacity, the doors open up. So.
Oh, amen to that. That I totally 2000% agree with you. And I know a lot of our viewers do too. That makes a lot of sense. And to know that our faith is what really helped us get through this whole pandemic, and a lot of the members and that have gone through a lot. I know the associations continued to keep moving forward, and the members were hanging in there. But what was it like to hear the members' journey during that pandemic? Because I'm sure they talked to you and your staff a lot during all of this.
Oh, absolutely. I think during the journey, one of the benefits of that journey was that it brought us closer together as a community. And what we realized is that we're all in this together. And what we learned is that we do not have the answers independently, but collectively we can identify solutions. In many cases, we would say, you know what, the playbook is out the door, because we need to test, we need to experiment, but most importantly, let's not let the past, now we can say 3 years, be for naught. Because what we do know is we can take some of those innovations from testing and experimenting and the lessons learned into the future. And we can also know that collectively we can, as I shared, identify solutions together, work as a community. I believe that from the past 3 years, we've identified the need, the value to partner and to collaborate, to leverage resources. We've identified the need you can learn from untraditional sources as we seek to try to understand this new reality. I don't say new normal because there's nothing normal about what we're experiencing, but it is a new reality that we're faced with to deal with.
Yeah. A lot of people talk about, the great resignation, but yep. I've always been saying, actually it's been the great realization because that's where we are today. And that's a great thought. And listening and hearing what the members were going through, and giving them hope and possibility by keeping the associations, and the chapters going, was brilliant. For ASAE. So congratulations on that. And yet here we are, as you mentioned, what the future is going to look like, but here we are in the present. And I know everybody would love to hear, what is the current state of the association community?
Yeah, the current state is evolving, but also the current state, I'm very optimistic about the current state of the association community because, again, the past 3 years has presented an opportunity for us to learn, test, grow, try new things, ask for forgiveness. I believe that what you'll see will be more partnerships and collaborations, as I mentioned earlier. You'll also see that we are very open to being uncomfortable. Associations are very resilient, and so therefore learning from the past 3 years has been a test on many leaders. But I also say we now know the importance of making fact-based decisions. We know the importance of when we have enough information, we have to operate with a sense of urgency, a sense of resilience or precision. The current state is very inclusive. We have seen associations really embrace diversity, equity, and inclusion in a very conscious way, because we do know that when you bring different perspectives, different backgrounds, different lived experiences together, that's where the greatest creativity, innovation comes from. And so we are focusing on that as well. And I would say that as we move forward and understanding that the current state will evolve, and there'll be a next chapter, there'll be something new. We will take what we've learned into the future and become better, stronger institutions as a result. And lastly, I would say that many associations are rethinking their business models, fundamentally rethinking their business models in order to prepare for the future. But as they rethink the business model, they're really focusing on agility, flexibility, and not really looking as much as a traditional model of the past, because we also understand when we think about the current state is that this next generation, Gen Z, which will enter into leadership positions in 2025, 26, they're going to have a different perspective. And so we need to start designing our models to support their interest and their engagement with us.
Well, that's a very good point, because by, you said 2023, 2024, we're going to have about 6 generations all at once in our industry. And you're right, we've got to cater to all of them, but that new generation coming in is going to definitely look a lot different, no doubt. And as you were mentioning, moving forward, what are some of the latest trends when you were talking about innovation? What are those trends look like for the association world?
Sure. So one of the things we experienced over the past 3 years is shifting our business models from in-person to virtual, whether it was our physical office space or if it was our actual meeting shifting from physical to virtual. So we learned that we could do that. And so that's more than a trend now. This hybrid model is here to stay because we have proven some successful, some unsuccessful, but we can do that. So I would say that embracing digital, embracing omnichannel, embracing hybrid is something that's important. But we're also seeing a trend where our members are saying, I just really want the in-person right now because hybrid is not necessarily a successful experiment for me. And so for us at ASAE, our annual meeting in Nashville in August will be in person as we learn to understand how to embrace the hybrid model. Another area of growth will be sustainability. And sustainability is an area that many associations are starting to learn what is my approach, what is my role in this space, and how might this benefit my members, how does this align to the mission of my association? So I think many are learning or finding their place in sustainability, but just like diversity, equity, inclusion, understand it is a smart strategic decision to embrace. So as I think about the meeting planners and the complexities that they have to deal with these evolving, not necessarily trends, but these evolving opportunities, I think that's going to be ongoing, right? As we discuss, innovation is a very important aspect in creating a culture of innovation. So it's not resident in just one business area of the organization. It should be integrated throughout the entire enterprise. And that's very important to embrace as well. So those are a few trends that are top to mind, but I also think that they present tremendous opportunities.
Yeah, and I think that sounds very exciting for members to embrace. And again, the whole pandemic with associations seeing that uptick of membership really proved that the association community, everybody needs each other. And this is where to come to make that happen. And I just think that everybody can see what we're heading into. And with the association community, with these type of trends that you're mentioning, can only make everybody, more excited is what I'm seeing, no doubt. So that's very, very cool. Very cool. So according to what was called the Associations Now publication, they're mentioning about, when we're talking about members, the need for professional development and programs to acquire new skills pretty much jumped during the pandemic. And at last year's World Economic Forum reported that associations have the potential to boost the GDP up to 6.5 trillion by 2023. However, there is still a significant skill gap in the workforce, and now more than ever, associations are competing with the Amazons, the Googles, and other consumer brands. Is it a critical time in the way associations, strategically approach their businesses? You mentioned earlier that they have to relook at their business models and yet create innovation on, products and services. And what is being done to address that skill gap? And what does that look like for the members themselves?
Yeah, so associations in addressing the skills gap, I'll speak to what we're doing here at ASAE. as you know, we have what is called a Certified Association Executive Credential. And so
Right.
we have that base credential, but we're also looking at opportunities to certify our members in other areas. So is it finance? Is it marketing? Is it membership? So really drilling deeper into the certifications so that we can help our members develop a level of competencies to effectively lead in and serve in this new reality that we've discussed, because the world has fundamentally changed. And so we really need to take a look at how do we make accessible micro badging certifications based on competency areas that are of interest to our members. So it's really an opportunity for us to diversify our certification base, as well as the reality is our revenue streams too, because we can go online now and get a badge, and you're
Right.
you're a certified expert in something. So we want to catch up to that opportunity. We recognize, as you mentioned, that this is the Great Resignation. We have a responsibility to make the association community more attractive to a broader audience, the next generation, but even those that are looking to reskill themselves. And so our role here at ASAE is to go deeper into our communities to bring awareness to associations. And we are now having conversations on how do we attract high school students to the association sector and grow them over time. When we talk about new business models, ASAE in 2020 released a new strategic framework. And there are 3 pillars within that framework. The first being enhance the value to association CEOs and C-suite. The third is omni-channel, recognizing that the technology, the transition to digital has allowed us to think a little broader about our reach and our engagement to members and open up new channels. So we really want to focus on that, because again, that's not going away. That is something that's here to stay. But the finer focus is on goal 3, which is leadership pathways. So that providing pathways for the next generation, whether it's high school, whether it's community college, whatever the case may be, we want to be that professional sector that is attractive and inclusive for all.
Oh, wow. Those 3 areas are very, very important to know. And gosh, I'm sure our viewers are probably going to want to know more, which of course they can get that on the website of asaecenter.org. But that really sounds like your office and your role has it all ready to go for them. It's just a matter of them getting involved and taking that first step and that leap of faith that, hey, ASAE is here to help me grow, help me not only in my career, but my professional peers, my networking opportunities, and they're just, even though they're including their personal growth, because with your personal growth, you feel so good and confident about yourself, especially by getting a certification. It's only going to help you professionally as well.
Yeah, you mentioned getting involved, and that's what it requires. We know that we're better together. We know that, when we're together, united, great things can happen. So what I am saying, this is your ASAE. We are open. We want you involved. We want you to grow personally, professionally, make a contribution back to the sector. And so, we also believe that ideas can come from anywhere. And so, and we don't have that next great idea. So it's more like crowdsourcing, and let's work together to figure it out.
Right. Good to hear. Good to hear from the top. That's for sure. So how can the association and hospitality communities collaborate to help advance the entire profession?
Yeah. It starts with partnership and collaboration. It starts with sitting down to understand what each group is uniquely trying to accomplish. I think it really requires associations to lean on their hospitality partners and their DMO partners in a more intentional way, and be proactive about that. And also learn, really, when we're having a meeting in a destination, learn about that community, learn the culture of that community. How can you bring elements of that into your meeting experience? So it's just really having an open mind and thinking untraditionally about what is that win-win? What is that mutual, what is that intersection of success where we both can benefit? And it starts with listening.
Right. Not only listen, but also speak up.
Speak up. Yeah.
Speak up. It's okay. There's no right or wrong answer to anything. We want new ideas into the industry. And there's a lot of brilliant minds. There's not just one brilliant mind in the room. There's brilliant minds everywhere. And everybody has a different perspective, experience, expertise. It'd be great for people to bring their ideas to the table.
And what we do know too, and that's a very good point, because our industry partners, they interact with a broad cross-section of associations. And so they are being exposed to best practices that they can then share with their customers. And we're open to that. We want to understand that. Again, there's no one size fit all here. This is a new day, and we all need to learn from each other.
Yeah, good idea. Good idea. So just curious, what is a day in the life for Michelle Mason?
Oh my God, I'm trying to figure that out.
I know it changes every day.
It changes every day, and that excites me. It changes every day.
It does, right? It does.
I would say day in the life is a day that is not consistent, and I absolutely love that. I would have it no other way.
But what I love about your role too, though, and your personality and how you lead ASAE, your door is always open. If a member has an issue, a challenge, or even an idea to bring to the table, you're very much available, very personable, and that is a good trait for future leaders to understand and know about too, right?
Yes, it is. And again, to me, emerging from the pandemic, I've always been this way, but even more so because we really need to lean in on each other, because we're all in this together. And if we can embrace that as a community and know that we're really united, I think that we'll have a greater opportunity of accelerating our success through this point in time, this period.
Yeah, definitely. Well, before I let you go, I've got one more question. And this is GMID Day. We're here to celebrate worldwide the hospitality profession. And so I know our viewers and all your fans will want to know, what does GMID mean to you, to Michelle Mason?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. It means global unification of the meetings industry. We are one ecosystem, and we're all in this together. And it's just celebrating the current, is celebrating the past, but most importantly, the future. So ASAE is honored to be a part of GMID. We're honored to participate in this amazing day and look forward to supporting its success.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's good to hear. I'm glad to hear that. So, of course, we know people are going to want to contact you and I hope, again, bring their ideas to the table and to further the conversation with you. I would imagine we can get a hold of you, whether it's an email, website. Oops, we've got the wrong one up here. Which one would be good for people to contact you?
I am accessible through email. So my email is mmason@asaecenter.org. You can check us out to learn more about what we're doing here at ASAE, and that would be through our website, www.asaecenter.org. And so we're really excited to again open up ASAE, invite our members in to go on this journey with us, and look forward to the opportunity.
Oh, good. Yeah, we had it on the tickler earlier in the show, so thank you so much for repeating that, because we want to make sure that everybody gets that opportunity to reach out to you or to your office for more information, how to become a member, how to grow within your career and organization by being a member. It's all about belonging. It's all about coming together, like you mentioned so brilliantly. So thank you again for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be with us, and happy GMID Day.
Happy GMID Day, and thank you so much for having me here today. It's a great day of celebration.
It is. Thank you so much.
Bye. Thanks.